Universe, if you like the movie Let the Right One In, you're gonna love this movie. What's up, Universe, and welcome back to the web's first must-see comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to Comic Universe, guys. I'm your host, as always, C-Dubs, and the 31-day Halloween horror movie challenge continues. Guys, the reviews are late, but I promise we're still watching the movies every single day. And guys, today I think I got a special one for you. One that I think has flown completely under the radar this year. I never heard of, I just happened to stumble across on the interwebs, if you will. And guys, again, also if my voice is a little choppy, again, I work at a haunted house at night over the weekend here in October. I help out my buddy, Never Ending Nightmare. Check it out if you're in the Orlando area. West Oaks Mall, every weekend in October. And guys, today's film, I had a blast. Knew nothing about it going in. It is called The Dark, 2018's The Dark, I should say. Because it's a very generic name, if you will. But this movie, I'll give you the basic plot, if you will. In a small remote town, the deepest, darkest edge of the forest is called the Devil's Den, where the rumor is, or where the legend is, that a demonic spirit of a little girl who was brutally murdered, allows you to enter, but never allows you to leave. This movie, I went in, again, knowing nothing about watching it, and it starts off a little rough. Almost really, really amateurish, to the point where you're just like, I don't know if I can keep watching this. But the cinematography starts to kind of draw you in, and you kind of get stuck into it. It's starring nobody I've ever heard of, to be honest with you, but Nina Alexander. She plays the main character, Amina. Carl Malkovich, who plays Joseph, and Toby Nicholas, who plays Alex. Now, this movie starts off with, we're following the gentleman known as Joseph, who's played by Carl. He pulls into a small, Quickie Mart on the side of the road type of deal, and he's really frantic, and we don't know why. And he's gathering up a few supplies, a box of cereal, a road map, and, the guy, the behind the counter, basically is like, you're going to need to pay for that map. You can't just look at it. So the guy pays for the map, and he kind of gives him a little bit of the legend. He's like, what's wrong with you big city folk? Always coming out here, sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, looking for excitement. What's wrong with you guys? Is the city not big enough for you, not exciting enough for you? You always like to come here where you're never going to find your end. He's like, this is going to be the end of you, dude. And the guy's just like, whatever, I got to go. And all of a sudden, a news report pops up on the TV, and it's a news report looking for Joseph, if you will, for the kidnapping of a young boy and multiple murders. And it's at this point Joseph looks up at the guy behind the counter, pops him a couple of times, kills him, takes off. Makes his way to Devil's Den, which again is this stretch, you think you've seen it all, to be honest with you. The Cabin in the Woods type of movie, if you will, between obviously Cabin in the Woods, and the Evil Dead franchise. They've kind of beaten it into the ground, but this is a little bit of a different type of a take. So essentially, Joseph gets into the woods. He rolls over and gets a flat tire, what looks like a giant barb from a barbed wire made, like a homemade barb. It's probably about the size of a softball, maybe a baseball. Pulls it out of his tire, and he just keeps going with the rolling, with the flat tire. Finally makes it to this home where he thinks it might be safe. And at first you think he's kind of talking to himself, because he's like, I'll be back. And you see nobody else in the car whatsoever. So he goes into the house, checks out the house, and while he's checking out the house, he's looking through a peephole, a hole in the wall where he heard a noise, and his axe comes, right through the hole, barely missing him. So he backs up, stumbles back, pops a few holes into the wall. All of a sudden, this dark figure's chasing him through the woods, and come to find out that it's actually a little girl. And this little girl is tattered, beaten. She looks pretty much like a zombie. She doesn't talk much. She doesn't say much. She runs around with a little hatchet. She's very agile. She was able to climb the tree above Joseph, and basically before murdering him. There are going to be a few spoilers, just ones that I feel that are not really important to the movie. And then the movie from that point on as Mina, who is again the little zombie girl, if you will, makes her way back to the house. She hears a noise in the cabin of the car, and there is a little boy in there. I wouldn't say little. He's probably about maybe anywhere between, I'd say, 13 and 15. But his eyes are completely damaged. He is completely blind. Looks like he's been burned or an explosion blew up in his face or something to that nature. And just as Nina's about to kill him, she sees that he's blind and can't see her. So she slowly starts to take a little pity on him. And it is at that point in time we start to realize that she's a little more human than we first thought. So she does have some human qualities. And it is at this point where the movie really resembled to me Let the Right One In, because it turns into a movie which is about friendship, them kind of getting together and surviving and relying on each other to get through the woods. And Nina slowly starts to essentially go from this deranged demonic state, okay, into, somewhat of a protector and a friend of this little boy and trying to get him to safety, if you will. And it turns out it's not fully fleshed out is what exactly Joseph was up to. We found out that he is he's a pyromaniac. He likes fire. He doesn't smoke. He carried around a Zippo lighter and essentially burning out the little boy's eyes. We never truly find out, or maybe I missed it, why he kidnapped this boy, was on the run. But it seemed as he was a part of the mob, and the boy was afraid that the mob was going to find it, if he went back to his family, would find his family. And I guess it was maybe because he saw a murder or something to that effect, is kind of what I was kind of piecing together. But I don't think it really got flushed out, and that was probably the only downfall to this movie, and the only thing I didn't like about this movie. But the good news is we do get a flush out of Nina. Everything is explained to us, how she got there, what happened, and just a little bit of the backstory. It is a little bit of stereotype. She's a victim of a broken home. The new boyfriend is actually molesting her. So finally she stands up to herself and essentially kills her family. But the way I took this movie, and again, it's not fully explained as to what was possessing her, but just the rage and the hatred and basically evil spirits of the forest invaded her body. And now as she's starting to take care of this boy and protect this boy, those spirits are slowly leaving her, and she's slowly reforming back into her human self. And this movie just was really good. It was really special. Like, it wasn't what I was expecting at all, especially when you're dealing with, a cabin in the woods. But man, this is really, really interesting, and it really sucked me in by the end of it. And the camaraderie between the two kids was really good. So again, if you are a fan of the Swedish film Let the Right One In, which is a fantastic film and one I may do a review on as well, guys. If you've never seen that film, go see that film first, then come back and watch The Dark. It came out April 2018. As of right now, funny enough, Rotten Tomatoes has it scored at a perfect 100 rating. I don't know if maybe just not enough people have seen it or anyone has reviewed the movie. And if I'm the first person to review this movie on the internet, I'm going to be pretty impressed with myself. Also, the user rating's at a 95% as well. And on Google, it showed at a 6.3 out of 10. But I do think it is a lot better than that. I would give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars myself. And it's just because, again, I'm a big sucker for camaraderie. I myself don't have a very big family, so many times my friends become my family. So the camaraderie and trust and loyalty between me and my boys, me and my friends, is really important to me. So to see this between these two kids is really a good thing, and it really makes the movie. Now, in terms of it being a genuine horror movie, that's iffy. But a lot could be said for a lot of, drama horror movies nowadays. It was classified in the horror section where I found it on the web, if you will. But definitely, guys, check this movie out, The Dark. Let me know what you guys thought. Don't forget to give us some suggestions on what movies to watch. We still have a few days left here in October. Someone did suggest, I think it was a Green Arrow Hunter, suggested The Babadook. That will be coming, guys. And if you guys are watching any of these films, let us know, guys, what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on this video, guys. Give it a like, please. It lets us know we're doing a good job. Helps us trend. You're not going to share every video. That I understand. Not every video appeals to your friends or family just because you like it. But a like definitely helps us out almost as much, guys. So please, and don't forget to click that bell to know whenever we drop a video. We got a lot of good stuff coming, me and the boys. Jay is really tied up with his own channel right now, and DPZ as well. But they are coming, guys. We are getting ready to launch a few things. You should see a Topic Tuesday video a little later today from Jay. Basically, touching a little more on the Luke Cage and Iron Fist dilemma. Basically, his thoughts and what he wants to see come from this. So keep an eye out on that, guys. And till next time, I'm C-Dubs, and I'll see you in the universe. Peace.